rush from 1896 to 99, the 530-kilometer winter road from Whitehorse to Dawson was built in 1902. This road, referred to as the Overland Trail, replaced the usual trail which followed the frozen Yukon River. It was built to deliver mail, and a series of roadhouses was set up every 30 to 40 kilometers. These roadhouses also had barns and stables. Horse-drawn stages traveled from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It took 5 to 7 days to complete the trip. Passengers paid up to $125 for a one-way fare with extra charges for meals and accommodation. Laura Berton, mother of Canadian author Pierre Berton, was still a young unmarried schoolteacher in Dawson City during the 1920s. In her memoir, I Married the Klondike, she describes a winter journey on the Overland Trail in a White Pass and Yukon route sleigh. Here's an excerpt from her book. 4 o'clock in Whitehorse, the mercury at 40 below, a week-long trip in an open sleigh ahead of me, the little town dead and sleeping under its mantle of a winter fog. A group of sleepy passengers huddled in furs at the White Pass station, the great sleigh with its 4 champing horses waiting. Off we went into the silent night and into the silent world of white. For 5 days we would sit in this open sleigh, our noses icicled, our feet warmed by hot bricks and charcoal, while we crossed the Yukon Territory in a wavering diagonal line north. I have never embarked on a stranger journey. It was not a comfortable trip. The seats had hardly any backs, and we had not been out long before I became unpleasantly conscious of my neck. It just wouldn't hold up my wobbling head. With no support from the seat, I tried tying a scarf over my turban, binding it tightly around my head. It was no use. There were 14 of us traveling north. We sat in threes in 2 double rows of seats facing each other, the spare man up on the box beside the driver. I sat in the rear seat, squeezed between a Swede on one side and a French-Canadian miner on the other. The Swede was a huge, gaunt wedge of a man with a great walrus mustache and long nose and chin. The French-Canadian was round-faced, jolly, and plump. Another passenger was a prospector, the typical grizzled miner of fiction, unshaven, pale-faced, with long untidy hair, a dirty white collar, and a flask in his pocket. Up front beside the driver sat another mining man named Tom Kirkpatrick. He was very jovial and drunk for the entire journey. He had a bottle of wine at all times and continually pulled on it. When we stopped at the various roadhouses for meals and he could get no liquor, he quite cheerfully drank horse medicine instead. Of all of us, he seemed to have the best time. Montague Roadhouse was first built in 1900 in a different location than where it is now. It was on the other side of the present-day highway, but it burnt down. A replacement was built, but it also burnt down in 1909. Oh, God, look at this. This is so beautiful. Okay, let's look at this little meat storage cabin. That's adorable. Oh, it's so nice and cool in here. Who wouldn't want to live in this? Look at that. Oh, graffiti, people. Oh, it's so nice and cool in here. It's a hot day today. This beauty of a log structure was built in 1915 and was used as a roadhouse until the 1950s. The kitchen and eating area were on the main floor, and the bedrooms were upstairs. Wood stoves provided heat. The inside of the building was lined with cheesecloth, both to lighten the dark interior and to prevent the moss and dirt chinking from falling into the rooms. Posts were built every 30 to 40 kilometers along the length of the Overland Trail. Each post was complete with roadhouses, stables, storehouses, and cabins. Big old sod roof on that thing too. Teeny little logs for the roof. And then there's that structure right in front. Man, I just love that. This is my favorite cabin so far. Look at that. So many rooms. Windows. biggest windows I've seen in cabins. Lots of these. What are those for? Like extra chinking. Look at that window. Oh, so cool. It's like second story. This is the first second story cabin I've seen. Also, you can see like the support cross beams going that way. Hey, a door that is normal height. Wow. Oh man, you just imagine the parties going on in here. Coming in off a rough road. Into this, look at that stove. Roadhouses were large two-story structures, often with an attached shed at one end, and they were a welcome refuge from the cold. A stage would stop at 2 or 3 roadhouses in a day, and horses were changed at each post. Passengers paid $1.50 for meals and $1 for a bed for the night. The remaining shell of the Montague Roadhouse has been stabilized to preserve one of the last remaining relics of the Overland Trail. Rotten limbs up there. That's a big old gap. Oh, what's that? Oh, like a cellar, root cellar. See that goes down. Wow, it's a little overgrown. Gotta find some pictures of this in its heyday. Oh, look at the stuff on the roof. They're a beauty. What are those? Some kind of nails? I do not know what those are. Oh, they're like 2 sides of them. Little buttons. Little log buttons. What are those? Anyone know? Wow. I've never stopped and looked in this thing. Oh, look at burlap. Good old burlap. Burlap. More up there too. Oh, big old piece hanging down. Oh, this is amazing. Well, there you go. Montague Roadhouse. Beauty. Just the beauty. There's more of those things. What are those? Oh my gosh, I love it. Outhouse tour. Right beside the cabin. Beautiful roadhouse. Some nice outhouses that have a view of the road. They should be facing the cabin. Wow, what a cool spot. I've never stopped there and looked for too long. So happy I did.